listen, let's get on with it, yeah, because I'm starting to get a little bit pissed off, everyone. Starting to get a little bit pissed off. And do you know what? We all know, yeah, there's an increasing divide in the fan base, yeah. There just is at the minute. You know, you've got the top gooners, you know, the toxic negative ones and all of this stuff. And do you know what? Since the semi-final, the Champions League, we have seen a specific breed of Arsenal fan go into absolute overdrive. I mean, acting like Jim from American Pie, you know, letting go in their pants, not just the one, ooh, but the twice. Just at the mere thought of success, you know what I mean? They are getting them boxes sticky, sadly, for crying out loud. But do you know what? And they won't actually get that reference because the film was in 1999, by the way. So you know, most of them probably weren't even born. These mutant Arsenal fans. But these kids, they just don't know, yeah? They don't know what proper success looks like. And I wore this specific shirt for a reason today. One, it's my favourite shirt. Two, it's because we were invincible in this shirt. We were champions when this was made, hence the patches. And I've got Patrick Vieira on the back of it. I know what winning looks like. I was there in 98 when we won. I was there in 02. I was invincible in 04. There's some people on the panel that go back. We know what it feels like to win. But I don't blame you. I do not blame you one little bit. Arsenal failed you for 2 decades, Top Gooners. They did. They failed you. And, you know, they've produced a whole bunch of donuts. That's all they've seen is Arsenal lose. And that's not your fault. It's Arsenal's fault. And that breeds your loser mentality, by the way. That's fine. And I've listened to one geezer last night demand Kenny Ken, a geezer, a fridge freezer who has got over 40 years on his season ticket. Praise the manager. He's demanding him to praise the manager. And in the same breath, refuse to listen to us, just have a little bit of constructive criticism about our captain, Martin Odegaard. And then he even criticised us for that. I mean, I'd love for anyone to clear that up for me. I mean, it's just a little bit madness. But I've also listened to one geezer saying he's happy with second place 3 times. 3 times. This ain't the Olympics, bruv. No silver medals, no bronze medals, my man. There's first place and no place. Absolutely. And in the same breath, he also said to me, this particular geezer, that he's got warrior mentality. People in the chat, people in the panel. Guess what happens to Warriors when they finish second? Their heads rolling on the sand, bruv. That's not warrior mentality, bruv. That is fucking loser mentality. I've listened to these donut fans say they'll keep the manager if we lose 4-0 to Madrid in the second leg. My subconscious, man, it is telling me I'm literally wasting every single second of my time and breath debating this. But it's a tricky one, yeah, because of YouTube. It's really, real tricky one. If I was approaching the boozer, yeah, and I will wrap this up soon. If I was approaching the boozer and someone came along talking this nonsense to me, I'd tell them to fucking get away from me. Go away. I wouldn't associate myself with these geezers, but I guess welcome to YouTube. But listen, everyone, this is the quality of fan out there right now. It's the quality of fan out there. But listen, don't worry. Maybe it's just us. You know, let's not forget, they've secured the quarter-final cup now for the first time in 16 years, by the way. Maybe we'll get to a final for the first time. It's in 19 years, but they've got that. And these top gooners, this isn't me just saying it. This is what I think they're probably going to do. I think they'll probably organise themselves a little parade for the quarter-final trophy that they've won themselves, beating Madrid over 2 legs. And a bit of food to celebrate after, maybe in Wacky Warehouse, you know. Have your fish fingers, your chips and your beans. And if you're a good boy, you get a bit of dessert after, playing the ball pits and all of that. Do you know what I mean? They can have a bit of fun, bring a £1 coin, turn the old machine, and maybe you'll get a sweet with a tattoo on it or something. Maybe a bouncy ball if you're lucky.
Cream egg.
Such an easy life living in Princess Syndrome land, isn't it? It's such an easy life. Guess what, though? On the other side of the universe, where people in this panel live, where people in this chat live, we conduct ourselves in sensible debate and act like fully grown men. Case in point, Declan Rice, yeah? I've never thought he was a number 8. Never have. I've always thought he was a number 6. And me and Kenny Ken have polite debates about it. And we disagree all the time. But last night on Potsy's channel, I sort of said to him, I was like, do you know what, mate? I'm coming around. I'm actually sort of coming around to the point that, yeah, you know, he's actually not that bad. I can see what you mean when you say that. Did Kenny Ken ask for an apology? No. Nah, why didn't Kenny Ken ask for an apology? Oh, yeah, because he's a fully grown adult. That's absolute madness. And do you know what? There's another guy as well. And I actually like this guy. I do like this guy. He was bragging to me when we had a debate a couple of nights ago, yeah, that he won the debate via the comments in the chat full of like-minded donuts, by the way, absolute fully like-minded donuts. I just thought to myself, man, that is just like bragging about being the smartest person in a classroom full of Down syndromes, isn't it? Like, what are we doing, bro? Listen, mate, a clock is broken twice in the day, and mostly it's broke. That's what you are, my man. You're absolutely broke. But listen, this is what you all came for as well. My groveling apology. So I'm going to give you this, Top Gooners. I am sorry. I'm sorry you've got single digit IQ. I really am. I'm so sorry you've got absolutely no shred of the history about this club and you thought its inception was in 2019. I'm so sorry about that. I really am. I'm so sorry you grew up with 2 decades of failure. I really am. I'm sorry I don't have an apartment next to you in La La Land. Really apology. But mostly, I'm sorry that you are so insecure and need validation in terms of an apology from fans that spend more of their time going to games and you spend more of their financial means. And the most important thing in commodity is time. Give me a break, man. I feel sorry for you. I'm not saying sorry to you. I feel sorry for all of you fans that come out and you need apologies. You are pathetic. But guess what? I'll do you one more before I let someone else go, and then that person will be Shane. If Arsenal get knocked out by PSG, do you know what I won't be doing? I won't be asking you for a fucking apology. I'll be devastated. That's what I'll be doing. I won't be asking you for apology. Do you know why? I'm a fully grown fucking adult. What we doing here? Arsenal YouTube. Wake the fuck up. Arsenal fans, wake the fuck up. Seriously, man. It's getting to the point now where you're taking the fucking piss. I just want to talk about football. People that have got some form of IQ. And your IQ is the same as your fucking Emirates Stadium attendance. 1. It's ridiculous. I ain't giving you no apologies, bruv. I've been with my missus in 11 years, man. Do you know what I mean? I only apologise to her when I have to. I ain't fucking apologising to you because Arsenal may get to a Champions League final. Where will you be? You'll be on stream watching it. I'll be in fucking Germany, bruv. That's exactly where I'll be, man. Come on, this Top Gooner shit has got to stop now. Shane, when are you gonna give the Top Gooners your heartfelt apology that they so well deserve?
The short answer is never, because it's such fucking nonsense. I've been on your channel before and I've had rants about this, man. You know, we're all Arsenal fans. And when I talk about such and such a person, right, or if I'm trying to use something that they said and say, look what this Top Gooner said, I will often say, nearly every time, depending on who it is, but I'll say, look, he seems like a genuinely nice guy and he's an Arsenal fan. So I have no issues with him. I just don't agree with such and such a point, and then I'll get onto it. This having to apologise nonsense. We're not in the fucking schoolyard. And it's no coincidence that the vast majority of these Top Gooners, there's none of them over 30, man. There's barely any of them over 25, all right? So people go on about not knowing the history and stuff like that. It's not. It's that they are part of the Emirates generation. They're part of Arsenal being a PC shop. They're part of Arsenal being this collective, and they buy into all that shit, all right? They're not part of the Marble Halls Arsenal. They're not part of the Arsenal. They support Arsenal, not the Arsenal, the way we do. I have no issues with the way they support the club. Support them how you want. I've said many times, I'm only at this game, I'm not even 2 months at it, and I've said many times, I wish I had some of their mentality. I wish I could go into every game thinking we're the best team in the world, but I can't, because I'm a realist. And if they think that this is good enough this season, then they've got issues. If they're going to settle for this in second place, and well, Jesus, when I was growing up, man, nobody talked about phases or eighth, fifth, second. Nobody talked about that. They just said we haven't won anything in 5 years. We need to win something. We don't support West Ham. No offense to West Ham, but they've won something in the last 5 years. Okay, so and I heard today that someone apparently took a shot at me. I don't even know the chap. Right, he's got multiple hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I don't know if it's true. If it is, fair enough. He's allowed his opinion, but he's never even spoken to me if he did say it. Right. So, you know, I don't know why he's coming at someone with 100 odd subscribers, if it is true. But, you know, we probably know who it is. He likes to use fancy words, even though he doesn't understand half of them. He likes to act like he's on Sky presenting, you know, and he likes he has about 8 little buzzwords that he thinks make him sound intelligent, and they don't. Right? And here's one for you. Sesquipedalian. It means someone that uses big words, but they're a fucking idiot, man. All right? Now, I'm not going to fucking have this thing said about me being an Arsenal fan. You owe me apology. The problem is most of these pups, man. Most of these pups, I've forgotten more about Arsenal than they know. I've forgotten more about. I know Arsenal. I know football, full stop. And I won't have these people tell me how to support my club. I won't have them tell me you have to apologise because I was right. Do they think that we were sitting there watching the Madrid game, going, "Oh, Madrid are winning 3-0. How will I ever show my face on YouTube again? I couldn't give a fuck what they think, man. And I'm sorry for the language, but it winds me up, man. And it winds me right up because I'm tired of it being a game, of being a schoolyard game where you have to come into chat. I came into this YouTube thing to talk to people like yourself. And fair enough to talk to so-called top gooners and have a debate, man. But they think that a debate is I can shout louder than you and I can cut you off when you're mid-sentence and go, whoa, 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 whoa. I heard someone say to you, take off that jersey. I mean, such a lack of respect, man, for someone to say that. I was watching, I nearly threw the phone across the room. You know, you can't say that to someone. Not someone like you, a season ticket holder, man. You give your life and your blood to the team, and I'm not going to have it anymore. They'll say, oh, yeah, now they're triggered. Oh, yeah, now, and you cut it and do all you want with it and say, oh, yeah, they're raffled. And it's not about that, man. It's about how dare you talk about me when you don't know me. You know, we do, of course, we categorize top gooners and we put them all in one thing, and we probably shouldn't, right? But they are entitled to their opinion. But so are we. And just because they predicted Madrid winning, right, it doesn't mean that they're geniuses. They also predicted us beating Brentford, and they predicted us beating West Ham, and they predicted us beating Villa, and they predicted us beating Newcastle. They were wrong every single time. A 100 to 1 winner, and I'll finish on this. 100 to 1 winner won the Grand National. I'm not big into horses, but I know 100 to 1 winner, maybe I'm wrong, won it years and years and years ago, right? If you bet on that every year, you're going to be wrong 150 years, or however long the Grand National's been going. You'll get it once right. You'll get it right once. You can't start dancing around then like you're a genius. You got it wrong 149 times, pal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did they come to us and apologise when we say, you watch now, Gabriel's going to drop? You call that. Did they come apologise to you? Aaron, you said Gabriel's going to get injured 2 weeks before he did. Did they apologise to you? No, they didn't.
Yeah.
You know,
we don't want the apology, bro. We don't want it.
Don't want to. That's like us saying, oh, yeah, Gabriel's injured. Now they're going to have to say sorry. You know what I mean? It's absolute nonsense. I came out of that Fulham game. I was at it and I was down. And everyone was, what's wrong with you, man? We won. What the fuck's wrong with you? And I'm like, yeah, we won. But Gabriel's going to miss the Madrid game. You know what I mean? So that's,
you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. To pick out the thing because we won, so just be happy. Everything else is insignificant. You can't have constructive criticism. How dare you? We won. No, so don't constructively criticize
the last 90 minutes. That's their mentality. The last 90 minutes is Arsenal's history. Is that what that book was called, Carl? Was it? The last 90 minutes?
Yeah. Something about
it wasn't called. It wasn't called the last 90 minutes.
No, it was back from the end of the Second World War. That's when that book started.
Okay, because the Second World War was 90 minutes ago, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, mate. Now listen, before I bring Dazza in, that geezer, man. He told me to take my 2005-2006 blackcurrant jersey off. With their Wigan final game and Sol Campbell on the back there. I don't know whether he was trying to see what I'm like underneath the t-shirt or not, see what the chassis like. But well, you know, it's not that kind of show, mate. Do you know what I mean? I kept it on, and guess what I said to him? I was like, listen, man, I bought this shirt while you were still in nappies, my boy. That's what happened, mate. You were still doing poo-poo in pants when I bought that t-shirt. Let's get that absolutely right, man. But listen, the Arsenal's inception was in 2019, though, and like, yeah, man, that's how these lot debate. I've noticed it. They debate by screaming like loudly over than everyone else, like 13-year-old girls. Like that's what it is. Like they just debate like little gossip queens. It's unbelievable. I just sat there and I'm just like, listen, you're just shouting, man. That is not how you win an argument. That's the lowest form of debate. Is just shouting over someone. The lowest form of debate. But just quickly again before I bring Darren in, man, we got some fantastic people in this chat here, man. FC always, big up, brother. Karma, she's come straight from DG's as well. Big up, man. Devontae in the chat. AFC always, yeah. AK40, AK, big up to you, brother. Macy's in the building. You'll be on soon. Static, I've sorted that out. I don't know why it keeps happening, my friend. Joe's in the building. AB also, man. Thank you very much for the support. We got United fan here, Nelson. Big up, geezer. Ryan's in the building. Dazza, my brother. Smoke Tube. Big up, mate. Users here. We got Joshua in the building, brother. Boy Dio, man. Always a pleasure. Luca's here. George Sullivan. We'll get down a little bit more. Vigilantes in the building. How you doing, man? And Anthony Herbert, big up. Yeah. Are you still sat in the stall? Yes, I am. Yeah. I am sat in the stall, and it's not being propped up. I'm 5'10", not 4'10". He's taking a piss because my dad calls me a hobbit. Either way, yeah, I know. Yeah. What can you say? It makes me laugh. He's like 6 foot. Fedor's is big enough, but he acts like he's Courtois size. He's only about that much bigger than me, but I guess every inch counts when you're a man. Darren, moving on very swiftly. What do you think of this, man? What's your apology note to all these fans looking like?
Right. Well, to me, this is just the latest instalment of Arteta out. No one should even be considering any apologies at all. And here's the thing, right? Let's forget Arsenal football and everything else. If you have a row with someone or something goes wrong, and you say, "I'm demanding an apology," and that person comes back to you and says, "All right, then I'm sorry." What's better, if you demand the apology, or if you move away and over a period of time, that person comes back to you and says, "I'm sorry, actually, you were right? The more genuine and the more valuable apology you're going to get is the one where you haven't demanded an apology, right? So, unfortunately, that's the nature of these dumb fans. They think because we've won a quarter final that it's time for all us people that are Arteta out and on the Arteta out journey, which is a long journey, but it will be one where we are victorious.
Yeah.
Nature will dictate that anyway, but I believe we will be victorious in a short term rather than long term. So, a lot of what they don't see is what Arteta has done here with the team is more by accident than design, right? Havertz is injured, so Mourinho comes in and is actually doing a better job than Havertz up front, which to me is an embarrassment on Arteta's reign. Yeah. So I just think it's crazy for any mainly younger fan, and let's be honest, there's a few older fans that spout this shit as well, to come out and start demanding that fans that might have a different opinion and a realistic opinion should start apologising and all of a sudden giving it all this to Arteta. It's just not going to happen. There's too many of us now on social media. I'm not on it half as much as most people, but there's too many of us that are of the opinion that Arteta never had the credentials in the first place. And here we are 5 years down the line, and we're in a quarterfinals of the Champions League more by accident than design. We're taking the field every game with 10 men because number 8 is just, he runs around. Now, he had a tidy game in the week, but the emphasis is on the word tidy. It was nothing special. I was impressed with him because normally he's dog shit. What he did well in the middle of the week was he never give the ball away, held onto the ball and just give us a bit of breathing space in the midfield.
Yeah.
And I did a half-time on Insta and a full-time on the game, and I actually disagreed with someone who's normally on my side on the Arteta out stakes, saying get rid of Odegaard and all this. I'd get rid of him. I'd put him on the bench and I'd sell him in the summer. But I actually give an honest opinion. I'm not going to deliberately kill players every game because I don't like. If they have a reasonable game, then I'll say that they've had a reasonable game. And I just felt Odegaard did hang on to the ball for us to give us a bit of breathing space, but he didn't create fuck all. And that is what all these fans will try and have you believe. Without him, we ain't got any creative spark in the middle, which is absolute garbage. Now, I had a debate with E20 of West Ham a few months ago on Declan Rice, saying that he thought he was a number 6 and a defensive. Now, I've always felt we signed Rice from West Ham, who are a smaller club than us, no disrespect. And if we're paying 105 million, I want in my team a central midfielder that can go both ways, like Patrick Vieira did. And I actually believe, not gassing it up, I actually believe that Declan Rice can go up and down, score goals and make interceptions. He won't be as good as Patrick Vieira and nowhere near as skillful, but he can do the same sort of role where he comes back, puts a tackle in, and then he steams forward and gets 5 to 10 goals a season. So it's ridiculous for these supporters. We're only in the quarterfinals. Got to play Paris Saint-Germain next, very good counter-attacking team. And then we've got possibly Barcelona or Inter Milan in the final that are going to be a completely different prospect. Inter Milan will be very tactically difficult to break down. We've played them already and lost. And, that's not going to be a picnic if we get to the final. But at the end of the day, we're in a good position. But look, Arteta, right? We need a manager that can get us to compete for 4 trophies, not just for 1 or 2, and fucks off on holiday to Dubai every year and says, League Cup, FA Cup, put that in a bin. Yeah, I'm sick to death of all this shit at this football club. Now everyone's going around saying what a wonderful bloke Arteta is. Well, let's see how wonderful he is in the semi-finals.
Yeah, no, facts, man. Absolutely. There you go. Yeah, 100%, man. Thank you very much for your take on it. Cole, I also know you feel a little bit strongly about the situation. Everyone on the panel, man, does. That's why, you know what I mean? We've got these guys here. We all feel exactly the same way. Cole, how close are you finished to penciling your heartfelt apologies to all of these lot, man? Because I mean, they really, really want one. They are double desperate for a little sorry. Ooh,
Well,
sorry.
put it this way: the only way I'll say of an apology would be if we win the Champions League, because then it will just prove me the fact that okay, this manager has got us over the line. Okay, maybe we was wrong on it, but for the last 5 years, we haven't been saying that we've been wrong. We've been calling it out as we've been saying it. The missed opportunities, throwing away the FA and League Cup, which is an absolute disgrace. Knowing that's a feather, knowing the FA Cup is a feather in our cap. We've won it 14 times in our history. These fans have got absolutely no idea of... They've only understood, because they're very young, they've only stood the current modern era of Arsenal. They don't recognise how... They can't even go back to when the last time we was in the semi-final of the Champions League, for crying out loud. That's how much of a short attention span that that side of the fan base actually has. And you look at it from this perspective, okay? They gas up every single win. Was it great beating knocking Real Madrid out? Yeah, absolutely. It was fantastic. I think all of us on the panel can fundamentally agree that was 2 great games in Europe, which we haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. But pump the fucking brakes, because this is not done yet. We got PSG to face. They're not exactly going to be a walk in the park either. If we do get through, we're going to end up facing either Barcelona or Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Spanish teams always win European titles or on the international stage. I've won it 27 times in a row. That's going against the grain on us. And Inter Milan, they're the best defensive team in the Champions League. They'll stink that place out. And they'll make us sweat and struggle, right? So let's not get carried away with the fact that we have a chance of winning it. But at the same time, the fan base should need to calm its tits down with the situation of asking an apology. I'm not even going to demand an apology. The reason why is I've been saying this for time. I goes, since we bottled top 4, I didn't want this manager. I didn't. If he ends up winning something, okay, cool. He gets to stay on. But let's not just say, what I don't want to see, Aaron, is if we do win the Champions League, and then all of a sudden we go another 4 or 5 years of not winning anything. That's the bit this fan base might just cling on to. Oh, yeah, but look at 5 years ago. He won us the Champions League. That was 5 years ago. Guess what? Memories fade over time. We can only look back on the Invincible season. We can only look back on the League and Cup doubles in 98 and 2002. We can only look back on reaching a final of the Champions League in 2006. That's all memories now. It was great. We can relish in it. But you can't just continue to sit on your laurels with what has happened in the past. You have to see where the term of phrase, it's not what you have done, it's what you have done for me lately. What have you done for me lately, Arteta? Oh, that's right, 5 years of not winning absolutely anything, and everything will come to a head if he doesn't get in. Now, I'm not certain. Now, look, I spoke to my mate earlier on today, and I basically said, you know what? I actually have more optimism now because I think we can make the final now. Because after doing, it's Real Madrid. I have more optimism. This isn't me being going on being a top gunner. This is me being optimistic. But it's a level of cautiousness at the same time. And that's what we all need to be. Great. We're in the same finals. 1 game at a time, all the way. And if we get past PSG, it's a final. One-off game, 90 minutes. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But
you know what? Yeah.
But please don't try and demand us here to say an apology if we do win the Champions League. We want to win those big ears, the Gary Linekers, as much as the top gooners do. We are craving for it. We're demanding it. So if we do win it, guess what? We got what we asked for. And we're going to be as happy as a pig rolling in shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, mate, 100% facts. 100% facts. So before I bring Rashid in, do you know what they remind me of, these top gunners? When they actually, when their balls drop and they grow a little bit older and, you know, eventually they find a woman stupid enough to sleep with them and they have kids. Do you know what they're like? Do you remember when X Factor and that was good back in the day? And you just get like the kids that go on, the 18, 19-year-old, they have no talent. Their singing is just absolutely atrocious. But you've got the dad that's going, no, go on, you know, you're good. You know, the level of deluded ones. Yeah, you listen to my son, and your glasses are bursting in the front room, your TV's cracking. They've got no pitch. That's what these top gooners are going to be like to their poor little kids. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, go on, Britain's Got Talent. You've got talent, and they're just stood there. Do you know what I mean? Picking their nose and doing something like that, or burping the alphabet or something like that. Yeah, you got talent. That's exactly what it reminds me of. Just quickly, before we've got a couple of super chats I want to run through. Jason Carter, man, you don't have to do it, bruv. But big up and thank you very, very, very much, my man. Big up to yourself. Big up to Aaron and the elite panel. Yeah, man, they're always elite panels. And Joshua, thank you very much to you, my man. Imagine Spurs when you win in Europa and Arsenal lose the final. No. I don't want to imagine that. I remember we was actually both last in the final, wasn't it? The other way around, and we both lost it. One thing I did sort of think about, I mentioned on DGs, was could you imagine we both won it and we played in the old Europa Super Cup or whatever it is, the European Super Cup? That'd be quite good. That's another surely guaranteed trophy. That'd be in the Arteta would be getting to stay another year then, wouldn't he?
Oh,
fucking hell.
Talk about a year.
Yeah, I mean,
That's more like 3.
maybe have that one, Tottenham.
More like 3, 4 years. It's
Technically,
Listen,
that
mate.
is classed as an actual trophy. The European Super Cup
Yeah.
is actually technically
Yeah.
classed as an actual trophy.
Yeah.
So you could
You
say
know-
he's won twice.
It's not a charity shield, Arteta.
It's not a charity shield, it's professional
charity
rules.
Shield.
Do you know what
Yeah.
amazes
Keep
me,
going, my
yeah?
brother.
This is what amazes me, is that you said something, Carl said something about this is the only Arsenal team they've seen have success. But you've seen other teams. You've seen City have a success.
Your mic's a little scratchy.
You've seen Is
Rashid.
it?
Yeah.
You've seen Liverpool. You've seen. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah. I just thought I'd let you know. I didn't really
Yeah,
mean to cut your flow.
it's dead. The battery's dead. But
Yeah,
you've seen
yeah,
Liverpool.
good job.
You've seen other teams make it. Why have you not learnt from it? Why haven't you turned around and said, "Oh, I want to be like Liverpool. I want to be like City." Can you guys hear me, or should I get the headphones? I should get the headphones.
No, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, just a little scratchy. That's all, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, just quickly while you set them up. Yeah, there's a good point as well for our take all W's. We should get an apology for Arteta pissing away every trophy besides the UCL for the last 5 years. Absolutely agreed, my brother.
So what I was saying is, why wasn't you demanding success? Because you were seeing success. You can't tell me this is the only success they've seen. And furthermore, I want a sorry for the Premier League. I want a sorry for the FA Cup. I want a sorry for the Carabao Cup. We should have won. We should have won one of them. Because this manager is the second highest paid manager in the world. They're finding every excuse to support this manager or to protect this manager. They want to be so right. That's why they demanded those sorries. They want to be so right about this manager. And in the end, if he doesn't win it, then we'll turn around and say, see, he didn't win it. Now we're talking about 4 trophies he hasn't won this season. And we're talking about 19 competitions, 0 trophies. But of course, for them, beating Real Madrid is a trophy. They've already gave him 3 years. They probably give him 3 years for just beating Real Madrid. They don't care how we beat them. They don't care about the tactical aspect, how we beat them and how we struggled against other teams. The lower team, I don't want to call them that. The other teams, like, for example, a Crystal Palace or Aston Villa or Newcastle, or those actually, Newcastle are doing well. But the point is like, I want to understand how these top gooners think, because you can't just write off everything because of one trophy, one run that we had in one trophy. You need to be more objective. Now we're gonna look at how long this manager's been here. Don't worry, Klopp won the Champions League in the 3rd year. So you can't be telling me that Arteta is amazing. He won it in the 3rd year. He didn't spend as much as Arteta. And he still won it. Why? Because he's a top class manager. Oh, Arteta's inexperienced. So if he's inexperienced, are we just going to wait for him until he has the experience someday to win a trophy? No, sorry. We don't have that time. We're Arsenal Football Club. We should win. We should be winning minimum every year. We should be winning a trophy minimum. And every year we should minimum get 2nd place. 2nd place is like minimum. You don't even talk about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear you tell me that, oh, we got 2nd place. 2nd place is mandatory for a club like Arsenal. Even on FIFA. If anybody likes FIFA on in the chat, as soon as you sign for Arsenal, 2nd place is mandatory. You have to get it. You have to get it. You have to challenge for this league. We didn't challenge. We met Man United. We lost the 1st game, 1st round out. Newcastle, we played them 3 times. 3 times you couldn't flip the game. Nothing changed in those games, and they beat us on it. But that's the thing. That's the thing. It just annoys me how ignorant these
we have an imposter in the chat. We have an imposter in the chat.
Uh-oh. We're in trouble.
Catch.
Oh, we got Catch.
I'm miles away.
Catch. Hey, listen, Catch. If you want to jump on, hey, but there's 5 of us. There's 5 of us. Nah, but we big up to Catch, bro. Big up to the whole
man, yeah.
fan zone.
Man. We respect Catch.
We're gonna.
He's a good lad. He's a good lad.
Listen.
He's a good laugh, Catch, but he debates like a teenager.
Wait,
just
what?
Screams over here with nonsense.
Nah, listen.
Catch,
this ain't gonna stop. This debates we're gonna be having with Catch and his team, with us, it ain't gonna stop. But at some point, one of us has to be right. At some point, it's gonna happen because it's been too long waiting for this manager. It's been so long. But at the end of the day, what am I seeing? I'm seeing a team that I love this game. Exactly, me too. I love this game. Like I told you, Lee's channel, I thrive on this. This is what I do because Catch, I have friends like you. I have colleagues. So he's a guy called Andy. Oh my days. He's such an Arteta in, like it's amazing. It's amazing. He just told me that.
I don't know how old is he, Rashid?
He's actually like 52. Something
how
like
did
that.
he make it to that age?
I do not know.
Having that kind of mindset, how did he make it to 52? Man, it's just madness.
When we lose, he hides out. He hides out in his office. He just hides out in his office until I'm like, hey,
we
what are you telling me about the game? What we? If we're winning,
to come back out again, is it?
If we're winning, he bring his cup of coffee and he comes to my office. He's like, hey. So what do you think about the game yesterday? Oh, why didn't you talk about the game that was before that? But yeah, man, listen, it is what it is. It's always going to be like this. Debates are going to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? But now we cease fire.
Let's do it maturely, bro.
We do it maturely. But for now, I just think we should cease fire until the Champions League's done. Either we win it or we're out. Because, listen, I don't think it's enough just to beat Real Madrid. We've beaten Real Madrid before and we haven't won it. Do you think anybody remembers Arsenal for 2006 because they beat Real Madrid? No, they remember Barcelona, Ronaldinho, Eto'o, them man, because they won it. They won't exactly.
One of the worst days of my life, bro. I'm telling you, I'm not joking you. That was one of the worst days of my life.
For all of us, Aaron, all of us.